In this video, we're going to be looking at the difference in use between the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. Now, I'm hoping you already have some idea of the present perfect simple, but if not, we will have a quick recap. So the present perfect simple. An example sentence would be, I have done my homework. So we form the present perfect simple using a subject, so the person or thing doing the verb, followed by have or has, depending on who is doing the verb. And then you need your main verb in this form. Can you tell what this form is? Yes, of course, it's the past participle. So the past participle is that third form of the verb. So when you have your verb tables, you've got the infinitive or base form, past simple, and then it's this third column of verbs, the past participle. We use it to talk about something that started in the past, and if it's finished, then it's something with a link to now. So, for example, you could have some friends talking about their recent holiday to Spain, and they're talking about how the sun was shining and the sea was blue and it was all lovely and the food was fantastic. And you could say, oh, actually, I've been to Spain too. Now, it might have been 10 years ago, but the fact that you went is relevant now. So this is this link to now. This is the most important thing with the present perfect. You need to have a link to now. We also use it for actions that are leading up to now. So either they finished very recently or they're about to finish. So again, we have to have this link with now for the present perfect. So an action in the past with a link to now, or something that's only just finished. But this link to now is the most important thing. So then we have the present perfect continuous. So our example sentence in the present perfect continuous, we have our subject, again, person or thing doing the verb, followed by have or has, depending on who is doing the verb. Then you need been. And finally, you need your main verb in its ing form, so the present participle. I have been doing my homework. So we use this one to talk about something that started in the past, carried on up until now, and it's continuing. It hasn't finished and isn't likely to finish straight away. So here I've been doing my homework. So here, at this point, I got out my books, sat down, had my pen, started writing and thinking, and I'm doing it, and I've not finished, and I've still not finished, still not finished. I've got to now, and I've still not finished. So I have been doing my homework. So we can use this to talk about temporary situations, and we can use this to talk about actions which are not finished and continuing. So let's have a look at another example then between the differences. So here we've got I've been making a cake. This is the present perfect continuous. You have a lady in a chef's hat. She's got egg on her feet. She's got jam on her nose. She's a mess. She's messy because she has been making a cake. So now she started maybe, I don't know, 2 hours ago. She started to make a cake and she continued making it, and she's maybe put it in the oven now, but she's not finished. She's still messy. She is still making it. The cake has not finished. Once the cake is finished and she can bring it to the table, then she can say, look everyone, I've made a cake. So this is different. She made the cake in the past, finished, the cake is made, and now she's bringing it to the table. So now we have this link, because we're looking at the cake, we're going to blow out the candles, we're going to eat it, and it's going to be fantastic. So that's the link. Something has finished, but the link is we're seeing it now. So I've made a cake. Okay, here we have a book. Present perfect simple. It's a book, it's closed, I've read it. I've read from the beginning to the end. So I started it maybe 2 weeks ago, I read it, I finished it a week ago. It's finished. I have finished reading it. We can use the present perfect because we're looking at the book, we're talking about the book, and so that's your link. But I finished reading it. If I hadn't finished it, so if I started it 2 weeks ago and I haven't finished it, it's still on my bedside table, I still haven't finished it, I'm not going to finish it for another couple of weeks, then I would say I've been reading this book. So I've been reading this book for 2 weeks, it's brilliant. You should read it when I've finished. Or I could say I've read this book, I've finished now, would you like to borrow it? Some verbs we can use both forms. So if we're talking about where you've lived, then we can use either the present perfect simple or the present perfect continuous. So you can say we've lived here for 10 years or we've been living here for 10 years. So we're talking about time up until now. So this is 10 years ago. This is time up until now, present perfect. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Whereas this one here, we're saying we've been living here, but we're probably going to continue. So either way, we can talk about time up until now, or here we can talk about continuous time. Either way, it means the same thing. So we have some exceptions. We cannot use the continuous forms with state verbs. Anything talks about how you are inside. So you can't say, even McDonald's shouldn't, I have been liking you for years. You could say, I have liked you for years. It's time up till now. I've been loving you for years. No, I have loved you for years. I have been understanding my homework. No, I have understood my homework. So we can't use state verbs with a continuous, no continuous tense. But other than that, that's the difference between the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous.